been almost 3 days since Nam left the hospital to recuperate at the condo, but Nafak still had to take care of her former manager, who claimed to be scared and not ready to be alone. Nafak's frustration at not being able to do much made her want to distance herself from this woman more each day. Every time she went out, there was a phone call almost every 10 minutes. When she answered, there were tears and suicide threats, forcing her to rush back. She barely had any personal time, and most importantly, the time she could spend with Dr. Premzini had vanished, making her genuinely upset. Even though the doctor said she understood, Nafak still felt uneasy. Every night, they used to talk, hold hands, and kiss, but now they only communicated through phone calls and text messages. She had no idea how to extricate herself from this uncomfortable situation. Every time she tried to be strong and ignore it, the crying and suicide threats pulled her back to care for her former manager. "Pat, aren't you going to shower? It's almost 8 o'clock. The voice of her former manager snapped Nafak out of her thoughts. She turned to look and then averted her gaze, sighing in frustration. Nam's revealing nightgown didn't excite her at all. She felt indifferent and didn't wanna look. If it were Dr. Premzini wearing such a nightgown, she would have jumped to hug and kiss her until she got scolded. The more she thought about it, the more she missed her. When would Nam be able to take care of herself? "I'm going out for a bit," said Nafak. "Why are you going out?" "It's personal, Nam, and I'm bored." "Bored? Being with me is boring. You never used to be like this. You don't see me as important anymore, do you?" "Nam." "Pat, you have someone else. You care about someone else more than me. Yes, I'm just a worthless woman." "Stop talking like this. It's annoying." "Pat, come back, I said come back." Nam's angry cries didn't make Nafak turn back. She walked out, feeling irritated and annoyed by the repetitive complaints, which had pushed her patience to the limit. The door closed, and Nam collapsed onto the long sofa, crying. The fear of losing Nafak because of someone else made her unable to control her emotions, screaming in frustration at not being able to keep everything the same. But then, the slim phone left on the sofa made Nam smile slightly. Since it belonged to the person who had walked out in frustration, her slender fingers didn't hesitate to unlock the screen, which displayed the owner's picture. She tried entering the 4-digit code, and it unlocked easily. Nafak never liked changing her passwords to something complicated. They'd been together for so long. How could she not know what numbers Nafak liked to use? Nafak might have changed the password to her private room, but luckily, her phone still had the same code. Nam had suggested, related to herself, making it easy to remember and not forget. The first thing Nam opened was the message box, or the favorite chat app everyone used. Seeing the exchanged messages made her tear-streaked face want to scream again. The messages were full of teasing and sweetness, making her envious and unable to believe that she once thought Nafak would never leave her. It wasn't just the messages showing a deep relationship between two people. The photos of them together confirmed it. "Ah, I hate you, Dr. Premzini. Ah." Meanwhile, the beautiful doctor, who was hated without doing anything, was walking to open the door when the doorbell rang at an unexpected hour. Seeing the sulky face of the person standing at the door made Dr. Premzini smile. "Why are you here?" "I missed you," Nafak said, expressing her feelings. Though the listener's face remained calm, the corners of her mouth curved into a smile, making Pat happy that her words affected Dr. Premzini's heart. "Don't you have to take care of your friend?" Dr. Premzini asked, seeing Pat's expression as she explained why she was here tonight. "I'm bored." "Can we get bored of friends?" Dr. Prem could guess the reason behind Pat's boredom. Since they started getting close, she'd learned that the youngest daughter of the Theranosorn family was probably spoiled like any rich kid. But there were many things the actress did that made her think otherwise. Pat had a quick temper and got easily irritated by things she didn't like, even quitting abruptly, like her entertainment career. But Nafak Theranosorn wasn't self-centered like some high society kids. Being too soft-hearted and overly sympathetic was something Dr. Premzini didn't like the actress. Not exactly bored, but I'm annoyed. She doesn't make sense. That bad? Wasn't she someone you used to like? Nafak looked at Dr. Premzini's slightly smiling face, not quite understanding. She thought the beautiful doctor might be teasing, showing a bit of jealousy. But seeing the smile on Dr. Premzini's face made her think. The doctor wasn't jealous. If she were, she wouldn't be smiling like this. Was Dr. Premzini good at hiding her feelings, or was Nafak too dumb to understand? So, are you staying here or going back to your friend? Staying with you, P. Prem. I managed to escape. Escape, really? I'm tired of being annoyed. I even forgot my phone in a hurry. Go shower. Germs are everywhere. I'm a germ source, P. Prem. But you've been around germs. Nafak was slightly stunned, but had to leave the living room when Dr. Premzini gave her a stern look. This Nafak was germ-free, but having been around germs, she had to be clean according to hygiene standards. Dr. Premzini watched Nafak's back as she walked into the room to take care of her personal business in the bathroom as instructed. Thinking about the events of the past 3 or 4 days, she couldn't help but be surprised. So much had happened, but the man responsible for it all hadn't shown any accountability. Maybe he didn't know, or perhaps he had urgent meetings abroad, preventing him from taking responsibility. But then, her personal phone buzzed with a message, pulling Dr. Premzini out of her thoughts. She frowned, and her face turned serious as she read the message from an unknown number. Pat went back to you because I told her to. It's just relaxation, not a commitment. There was no need to find out who owned the number. The message's meaning made it clear who it was. Dr. Premzini immediately deleted the disturbing message without hesitation. At that moment, the person mentioned in the annoying message was calling out, indicating she was ready to sleep together. I smell nice now. I'm sleepy too. After being with germs for days. I'm clean now. I followed your method exactly. Nafak didn't know if Dr. Premzini disliked Nam because she was pregnant with her ex-fiancé or because Nafak stayed with Nam. But she decided to assume the latter. Dr. Premzini didn't like her staying with Nam. Go to bed. I want to sleep with you. We haven't cuddled for many nights. Nafak expressed her feelings directly, not realizing the listener might blush and turn away to hide it, though Dr. Premzini wanted to lie down. She remained half-sitting, half-lying against the headboard, with a lamp on to read her book as planned. But her resolve wavered when Pat's slender hand started to undo her robe's knot and touch her stomach, prompting a warning look. But the scolded person wasn't afraid. She seemed to enjoy teasing Dr. Premzini's skin inside the thin nightgown. Pat, kuchikuchiku, please sleep with me. Are you ever going to grow up? Sometimes, Dr. Premzini couldn't help but laugh at the actress's childish antics, which always made her smile and broke her usual stoic demeanor. Not yet, sleep with me, let's cuddle. The words of endearment were cut short as the lamp's light was abruptly turned off, causing the person playing Coochie Coochie Coo to smile. Broadly, she then snuggled their face into the fragrant chest, feeling the urge to bury her face as deeply as she longed. She adored Dr. Premzini's beautiful chest the most. The soft whispers that began to emerge made Nafak unable to stop at just playing Coochie Coochie Coo on the beautiful doctor's body. The smooth, alluring skin continued to tempt her lips to leave a touch on every inch, and she did exactly as she thought. The more she touched, the more she became fascinated, not wanting to be apart even for a moment. The happiness in the bedroom continued in a rhythm that called for each other as they both felt the touch of their hearts clearly. Even without words, their actions were evident, making the two of them express through their bare bodies. The time of happiness passed, and now the bedroom held only two bodies entwined in sleep, their faces adorned with smiles. But the vibrating sound of Dr. Premzini's phone made its owner quickly open her eyes in case it was an urgent matter from the hospital. However, seeing the contact of the messages made the doctor frown immediately. 2 in the morning, that woman still wasn't asleep. How did she have the time to send so many messages? Each message was the same, making her not want to read them. They were messages claiming ownership of the woman snuggling into her chest. What made Dr. Premzini's face turn stern and affronted was the picture of that woman with her person, taken together. Pat is mine, you're just a fleeting one. The message, along with the picture of the 2 women by the sea, made Dr. Premzini exhale slowly before looking down at the woman who made someone want to claim her with a calm face. She didn't understand that woman at all. Why was she still troubling her? She'd already canceled the wedding for the sake of the woman's unborn child, yet she came back to disturb her as if she knew about the relationship between her and Nafak, and wanted Nafak to return to her. Dr. Premzini decided to turn off her phone as soon as she saw the person snuggling start to move. She then closed her eyes to rest again, not forgetting to place the phone further away. If the hospital had an urgent matter and couldn't reach her personal phone, they'd call her condo directly. The happiness of being with Dr. Premzini seemed to pass so quickly, making Nafak's gorgeous face smile less and sometimes become easily irritable. But there was only one thing that truly bored her. Nam still kept asking her to stay and watch over her closely. When will you talk to that man and understand each other? What do you want me to say to him? He hurted me. To discuss what to do next, not make me stay and take care of you like this. Nafak was losing patience, wanting to go somewhere or do something but couldn't. Nam's words about wanting to die if left alone made Nafak have to be careful not to let that happen. If it did, it'd be a lifelong guilt for causing a woman to commit suicide, and she didn't want that burden. Am I so disgusting that you don't want to be close to me? It's not like that. I have my own life and can't always stay with you. Before, you'd never say this. Why have you changed? Tell me what happened between us. Nam's tears made Nafak sigh deeply. Nam never contemplated herself to see why things changed. My friend. But I don't want to be just friends with you. I'm sorry for making you hurt. Pat, give me another chance. The pleading voice made Nafak turn away, not wanting to see the tears and the pleading eyes that used to make her heart flutter. But now, it wasn't like that anymore. Her heart didn't flutter. She was thinking about why Nam kept changing. Once, she said she loved that man so much that she couldn't live without him, but now she has changed her words shockingly. Nam, listen to me. I care for you as a friend. Is it because of her? Her. That bitch who took everything from me. Bitch. That bitch Premzini. She pretends to be good but loves to take. She took Watt and now wants to take you from me. Nam, stop talking about her like that. Why can't I? I hate her. She made me lose everything. I hate her. Stop it, Nam. Hearing the thoughts of the woman she once found adorable made Nafak want to walk away. She couldn't believe the dirty thoughts of this woman. How did she ever see her as a good person? I hate Dr. Premzini. I freaking hate her. Pat, come back. If you don't come back, I'll kill myself. Nam's yelling didn't make the person walking away turn back, even though the last words were scary because they meant life. But Nafak didn't think of turning back. The words about Dr. Premzini were unacceptable. Blaming others without looking at oneself. When will she ever be happy with her life? Dr. Premzini, unaware of the hatred directed at her, was sitting exhausted in her examination room. This evening, an urgent case required a medical team, and she was part of the team called to care for a VIP patient. The famous actress Ingfa of Firamrak. Now, past 7 in the evening, she just finished work. Her personal phone, filled with annoying messages, made her feel even more drained. If it were any other day, she wouldn't have had to drive back to her condo herself. But today, she had to rely on herself since her driver was with the woman sending those annoying messages. But before she could reach her car, she had to stop. A man was leaning against her car. If she avoided him, she'd have to avoid him forever. It was good to talk today and tell him what he'd done. Prem, I have something to talk to you, Watt. Yes, I'm glad you're willing to talk to me today. Let's meet at the restaurant. All right. The happy face and gentle words of the man she once thought would be a good husband if they married made Dr. Premzini sigh before opening her car door and driving out of the parking lot to the restaurant they'd arranged. Dr. Premzini looked at the ordered food with a blank face. If it were Nafak here, the food wouldn't have been ordered before she arrived. But this man still did things his way without asking if she liked it. Please sit, Prem. I've ordered the food. Okay. This meal was full of indifference for Dr. Premzini, but not for the man in front of her, beaming, thinking he got another chance. He didn't think he'd be this lucky after returning from an overseas meeting. But if Thawat noticed, he'd see Dr. Premzini's indifferent eyes, not feeling the meal was delicious. Just eating out of politeness. Are you full, Prem? Yes. Like when we were about to get married, you ate a little like this. What? Today I want to tell you that our relationship can't be the same. Why? From being in a good mood, thinking today was a good day, Thawat was displeased hearing this from the beautiful doctor he wanted as his life partner. You're the one who should know well. When we were together, you still dated another woman until she got pregnant. She came to claim the father of her child at our wedding. Do you think I should forgive? Dr. Premzini tried to speak calmly for him to understand that there was no way they could go back to being the same. I admit I made a mistake, but I truly love you, Prem. What is your love, Watt? You say you love me, but then you go and do that thing with someone else. The evidence in the form of photos on her phone made the young man realize that everything he'd said was a lie. She was no longer the fool who would believe his sweet words of love. Do you think I'd marry that woman? I don't know about that, but what you should know is that because of you. That woman had a miscarriage. You should go take care of her. After she spoke, Dr. Premzini looked at the man's stunned face. She didn't wait for him to say anything more as her matter to speak with him was over. But before she could reach the parking lot, he grabbed her slender arm, and what he said next disgusted her. She couldn't believe he could be so selfish. I'm free now. Let's get married, Prem. You should go take care of your wife, not say things like this. That woman had a miscarriage. I'm free now, no more obligations. We can get married and have 2 kids. Just like you wanted. Watt, let go of me. We have to get married. I don't love you, Watt. Let go of me. You're hurting me. Dr. Premzini cried out, letting him know that his grip was hurting her arm. She wished someone would come by. She didn't want to stand there with this man who was becoming a stranger to her. Let go of the doctor right now. The angry voice and the furious face that accompanied it made Dr. Premzini smile. It was the person she'd been thinking about. Is it because of her that you don't come back and marry me? You're hurting me, Pat, help. Dr. Premzini's pained voice and her terrified face made Nafak unable to bear it any longer. She ordered the 2 men behind her to separate the man who was hurting. Dr. Premzini immediately. Make you come back and marry me, Prem. You can't be happy with this woman. The man's shouting faded as he was dragged away from the parking lot. Nafak watched as her men dragged Dr. Premzini's ex-fiancé away with a calm face before turning back to look at the doctor, who was already looking at her. The red marks on her slender arm made Nafak angry. Angry at the doctor for coming out with that man, and angry at herself for being late and causing the doctor to get hurt. Pat, why did you come out with him again, P. Prem? Do you still believe that man is good? He's done so many things. Why would you trust him again? What if I hadn't come in time? Do you love him that much to come out with him alone like this? Slap, the sound of a palm hitting a face made the person who got slapped turn their head. But what made Nafak's heart sink was seeing the tears streaming down the face of the person who slapped her. If you're going to insult me, just leave. P. Prem. I said leave, let go. How can I let you go, P. Prem? I love you so much. I'm going crazy. The embrace from behind made Dr. Premzini, who was opening her car door, stop. It wasn't just the hug that made her cry again, but the words of love from the woman who had turned her life upside down and ultimately led her off the path she'd dreamed of, a new path that made her discover a happiness she'd never felt before.